Yeah. Today I'm going to talk about something a little bit more personal, less kind of like technique or like anything specific about music, rather than where I'm at. So I've been having a break from like writing music for like about 6 months. The whole time, like I used to live in Australia, and I'm currently just traveling around. I've been in Colombia, Mexico, and now I'm currently in Poland. Before that, when I was living in Australia, I was playing in bands, devoting my whole life to like the idea of being in a band and everything like that, and playing shows to big crowds. I just really, really wanted that. And I still do want that, but it's very, very different. I got so swept up in the wave, like the wave of that culture, where like I don't think anyone even knows why they're doing it, or like what the actual outcome is, what the goal is that you want. You're just doing it because like I think when you love music when you're young, and when you kind of like have idols like bands and stuff like that, it's just like this automatic like go to there kind of thing. But yeah, as I say, I don't even know why I was doing it, and I don't even like, particularly as I got more involved in it, with like radio stations and promoting yourself and having a band Facebook account that you have to post cool photos on, and like, everything like that. It's like, it just doesn't seem like the whole kind of culture at the moment to me doesn't really seem congruent with like music and art. It seems more congruent with like being cool. Like I think it's been like that since like the 1960s or something like that. Yeah, very much like that, like being cool and getting into it because of that. Don't get me wrong, a lot of cool people have written really, really good music. The Beatles are probably the coolest people ever. But yeah, yeah, so I'm having a break at the moment, and I really wanted to pull myself out. You know what I mean? Really pull myself out. And the thing I've been thinking lately, it's a strange kind of metaphor or analogy for the whole thing, but it's like, I kind of see the musical climate and the music industry and everything like that as a prison cell, or a giant, like, or almost like a prison, facility, just a prison, an institution. And it's just become that way, and there's so many like strict rules and everything like that, type of song, genre, style, structure. Like I hear hip hop, I hear rock, I hear psychedelic music, but it all fits into the same neat little package with the same bow on it. It's all presented in pretty much the same way. Very similar production at the moment. Do the short intro, have the verse. It's just pop. Everything is pop these days, which is cool. I like pop, but I'm starting to get over it as well though. Yeah, and what I've noticed is like in that prison, it's like, you know, you sign up to the prison. It's like, yes, I'll walk in line and I'll do the 3 minute thing and everything like that. And I'll do this if I can just have the goal that I want. I want to play to people and I want to have fans, and maybe I could even make a little bit of money from it. But the way I see it is like, you're still in prison. So just say you're lining up in the like prison like food line to get your lunch at lunchtime, and there's like some shitty potato, some fucking gruel, some bullshit food, right? And then you beg the guy serving the food, can I please have one more scoop of mashed potato? And that's like the highlight of the whole thing, if you know what I mean. So think of the context there, how for that prison inmate, getting that extra scoop would be amazing, so good. But on the outside looking in, it's like, it's just an extra scoop of shitty gruel, man. Like, it's not anything to get excited about. And that's the kind of way I look at like being in the musical prison at the moment. Yeah, you sacrifice so much and you don't have any freedom and everything like that, but then you can get that little extra spoonful of gruel, which is like, I don't know, getting played on the radio, or like getting fans at your shows. And I've spoke about this before. These people going to the shows at the moment, as it's all about being cool. Like I think that the actual music is just like a background track to their feeling of coolness and aliveness and everything, and having fun, if you know what I mean. I don't think they're near as attached to the music as, I don't know, people used to be in like, the 1800s or the 1900s. I think it's a completely different thing now. and you're in and you're out, you know, like you're getting used up, you're on a conveyor belt. But anyway, yeah, so I've had a break because, you know, all that stuff just really not stressed me out, but it like I guess I just lost my inspiration and like burnt out a bit as well. Like I definitely burnt out, I'm not gonna lie. And over these 6 months, it's like, whoa, like I'm starting to get inspired again. I can feel it. I can feel my creativity starting to bubble again. Like, and it's so exciting because I don't know what is next. I don't know what's going to come out of me, if you know what I mean. Like I'm getting all these little ideas and fragments and stuff like that, and they're so weird and different. And I know that at some point it's all going to come together and emerge to create this new project. And for me, the main thing that I think is guiding it is like total rebellion, if you know what I mean. Like I don't have any urge to like do the whole radio thing anymore or like play it like Coachella, if you know what I mean. Like that whole system sucks. It's outdated and stupid. And I feel like, here's another thing that I've been thinking as well. It's like, I feel as though artists and really like passionate, emotional musicians have gone on strike. And I think that that's been happening probably, I reckon, since music piracy, like, you know, illegal downloading and everything like that. I think that that really stunted creativity, and it's not because of the money. I just think it's because it became so obvious how the general public do not respect and appreciate what goes into creating like true art and stuff like that. So I think that a lot of artists and stuff just became disheartened, and now they're just in their bedroom probably making music for themselves and enjoying it that way. I really do think that I'm like that a little bit. And the way I see it is like, yeah, all these artists, because of that movement, went on strike, and they're not putting their art out, and they're not even doing it. And what happens when you go on strike is, you know, inevitably, like in the coal mining strikes in like Ireland or Scotland or whatever, all the people in the union go on strike, and then, or not in the union, I can't remember. And then there's all those little bottom feeders that still want the money and don't have any integrity and don't stand for anything, and they'll take your place and they'll come in and work. And that's the way I see the whole music industry at the moment. All the artists are on strike, and all the chumps with no integrity and like no good ideas or anything will go, I'll come in and write the music, and all they want it for is to be cool and to have some fun, and that's cool, like no worries, but that's fucking really, really shit for the progressive music. It's not doing it any good, or the exploration of art. So yeah, like I think that soon, the way it's going to have to change is that artists need to start respecting themselves more and just, you know, end the strike and come back harder than ever. And the lesson is that you as fans, like, start fucking appreciating it and stop taking what you shove down your throat so regularly for granted. Like, it's not McDonald's, you know what I mean? Don't eat it like it's McDonald's and bleh, like that, like this mass-produced convenience-based food. It's art. It's once in a lifetime. It's unique, okay? It's a chef's fucking masterpiece on a plate that he's worked for years trying to create the perfect flavor balance and everything like that. And for you, the general public, to, you know, greedily eat that fast and not even appreciate it, and then not even offer to pay any money or appreciate it, then that's bullshit. You should be ashamed of yourself. And that's why these chefs or like artists and everything are on strike, because they're underappreciated and there's no motivation. So they're just in their rooms, like I don't know, you know, there were plenty of artists like around the, I don't know, 1700s, 1800s that locked themselves in their bedrooms, wrote poetry for their whole life and fucking killed themselves, and then it got discovered, you know, like years later, because no one's out there to fucking appreciate the depth of their creativity. And that's a shame, I really do think. But anyway, this is a silly rant, really, but I just woke up thinking about this stuff a lot. It's always on my mind. Yeah, so, but in terms of where I'm at, like, I think that I want to write really dark music. I'm really fascinated with the romantic period and era, you know, that obsession with death, and, you know, that, like, I was reading about the composer Liszt last night, and that he kind of stated that all the best tunes come from hell or the devil. And I think that's true. I think that we're not exploring hell enough, you know what I mean? I think that Marilyn Manson happened a while ago and he was relevant, and that was so cool. And a band like Meshuggah, and you watch their film clips and the darkness of it and stuff like that. I don't want to write music like that, but I want to incorporate that like really deep like exploration into tragedy and eternity and death and everything like that, and humanism and stuff like that in my music. And for me, it's kind of like everything's very focused on melody these days, and I want to move away from that, and I want to move away from like particular structures and things. I think even the way that the drum kit exists in songs right now is going a little bit too far, like 4 to the floor, or like bass 1 and 3, snare, like just that rock pattern. Like I'm starting to think that I want almost like a more like percussive orchestral kind of background rhythm section, and rather than focusing on like synths or like really heavily on guitars or anything like that, that's all been done. And while everyone's using synths, I think I want to potentially go back to something like a violin, but treat it as like a new instrument, like an industrial kind of thing. Put it through effects pedals and create really interesting, almost like hip-hop loops or something like that. And also the other thing is that dynamics have just been crushed for the last like 20 or more years, you know what I mean? And the other thing about the Romantic period is like that's where they just went nuts with dynamics, from the softest of soft to the like that. And I think that that's a thing I really, really want to explore. Like if I'm not looking to be played on radio, then I don't need this like compact mastered product. I just want to be played in someone's headphones or something like that, where they can lay back on their bed and like go into another world. That's the idea. And the other thing is like the way most people like get their audiences is by like, you know, shove it down your throat at this really big venue like a festival or something like that. I don't want to write festival music at all. I want to write the kind of music that gets played in some, I don't know, like weird underground basement or something like that only has like, you know, 100 people or something like that. And your music catches on slowly and slowly and slowly because it's new and it's different. Anyway, that's enough for now. Just woke up thinking along these lines.